My name is Eleanor. And I'm standing in my own kitchen. When my daughter-in-law, Claudia, tells me I'm not welcome at the wedding reception. The words land so casually, like she's discussing the weather, I actually think I misheard her at first. But then she repeats it. Slower this time, like I'm struggling to understand. She says it's nothing personal, Eleanor. But we want the photos to look cohesive, and you know how cameras add weight, and the venue has a specific aesthetic we're going for. I feel my face get hot, because everyone in the room heard that, my son Adrian included, and nobody says anything. The silence is somehow worse than her words. Because it confirms what I suspected, they all agree with her. And I'm the problem that needs to be managed. And removed from view, the room feels smaller suddenly. I can hear whispering behind me. Adrian's cousins, probably. Or Claudia's friends who arrived early for the planning session. Someone laughs. Actually laughs. I want to disappear into the floor. But I stay frozen. Because moving means acknowledging what just happened, and I'm not ready for that yet. Claudia is still talking. About seating charts. About color schemes. Like she didn't just tell me I'm too embarrassing to be seen at my own son's wedding. My hands are shaking. So I grip the counter behind me. I focus on breathing normally. And then I notice Adrian staring at his phone. Not at me. Deliberately not looking up. That hurts more than anything Claudia said. Because his silence is agreement. I need to explain who I am before this moment defines me completely. My name is Eleanor Hayes. I'm 53 years old. I raised Adrian alone after my husband died when Adrian was 12. I worked 2 jobs to keep us stable. To give him the life his father would have wanted. I never remarried. Never dated seriously. Adrian was my focus. My purpose. I built my entire world around making sure he had opportunities I never did. I'm not thin. Never have been. After my husband died, the weight came. And it stayed. I stopped fighting it. Because I had bigger battles. And nobody ever made me feel like my body was a problem. Until Claudia entered our lives 3 years ago. Claudia has always been particular about appearances. When Adrian first introduced her, I noticed how she'd steer conversations toward fitness and wellness. Always with a sympathetic smile toward me. Like she was worried about my health. She'd mention her personal trainer casually, talk about clean eating like it was a moral accomplishment. At family dinners, she'd comment on portion sizes, not directly. But with careful observations about how full she was after eating so little. Over time, she positioned herself as the family's standard setter. The one who knew better. About table manners. About appropriate attire. Nobody challenged her. Because she wrapped control in concern. And made rudeness look like sophistication. I remember specific comments now. Things I brushed off to keep the peace. At Adrian's birthday last year, she suggested I might be more comfortable in a different outfit. Something less fitted. At Christmas, she bought me a gym membership as a gift, wrapped beautifully. With a card about new beginnings. During a family photo session, she positioned me in the back. Mentioned something about angles working better that way. My sister noticed, asked if I was okay afterward. I said yes automatically. Because admitting hurt meant acknowledging I'd allowed it. Each comment alone seemed small, manageable. But together, they built something heavier. And now, standing in my kitchen, being uninvited from the wedding, I see the pattern clearly. Adrian won't look at me. I keep waiting for him to say something, to defend me. Or at least acknowledge how wrong this is, but he just scrolls through his phone, like this conversation doesn't concern him. I want to ask him when he stopped seeing me as his mother. And started seeing me as an inconvenience. But I already know the answer. It happened gradually, Claudia whispering concerns about my health. My lifestyle. My choices. Until he started seeing me through her eyes, instead of his own. Now he's embarrassed by me. And that embarrassment is so complete he can't even fake defense. His silence gives Claudia permission to continue. And I realize something terrible: he's not going to stop this. Not now, not ever. I understand now this ban isn't about logistics or aesthetics. It's about erasing me from a moment that should celebrate family. Claudia has decided I don't fit her vision of what a family should look like. My presence disrupts her carefully curated image. She's not worried about cameras adding weight. She's worried about cameras capturing proof that her husband comes from someone ordinary. Someone overweight. Someone who doesn't match the story she tells her friends. That realization is clarifying. Because it means nothing I do will ever be enough. No diet. No outfit. No attempt to shrink myself. I'm not the problem. I never was. Her cruelty is the problem, and she's just convinced everyone otherwise. Family members are scattered around the kitchen and living room. Some pretend they didn't hear. Others suddenly very interested in their drinks. Nobody speaks up. Nobody tells Claudia this is wrong. I look at Adrian's Aunt Patricia, who I helped raise when her parents died. She gives me a sad, apologetic look, but says nothing. I see my cousin James, who I loaned money to 3 years ago. He suddenly needs to take a phone call outside. Everyone chooses comfort over justice. Avoiding awkwardness over defending someone who's been there for them. Their neutrality feels like betrayal. Because silence isn't neutral. Silence is choosing the side with power. And right now, Claudia has it. Something happens inside me. I feel myself getting smaller. Shoulders curving inward. Like I'm trying to disappear. Then, I stop. I actually stop mid-shrink. I straighten my spine. I look directly at Claudia, who's still talking about the wedding like this is all perfectly reasonable. And I realize I have a choice. I can cry. I can argue. I can beg Adrian to reconsider. But all of those options require me to believe I've done something wrong. To accept their framing that my body is a problem that needs fixing or hiding. I don't believe that. I won't perform shame to make them comfortable. I won't shrink so they can feel bigger. I don't say anything. I pick up my purse from the counter and walk toward the door. Claudia calls after me, asking if I'm okay with the decision. Actually expecting confirmation that I accept being excluded. I don't answer. I don't look back. I hear Adrian say, "Mom, wait." But his voice lacks urgency. It's performative protest. I keep walking. Someone says something about me being dramatic. I hear it clearly. I don't respond. Because responding means engaging. And engaging means staying. I need to leave before I say something I can't take back, or worse. Before I break down. I choose dignity over confrontation. I walk out of my own house quietly. The drive home is a blur. I live 20 minutes from Adrian's place. The whole way there, I replay the conversation. Each time it gets worse. I remember new details, the way Claudia's friends nodded along. The way Adrian's cousin smirked. The way Patricia looked away. The way my own son let it happen. I grip the steering wheel tighter. My vision blurs with tears I refuse to let fall. I think about all the sacrifices I made. All the times I went without so Adrian could have more. And this is what it bought me, exclusion from his wedding because my body embarrasses his wife. I wonder how I became invisible in a family I built. After my husband died, I held everything together. I was mother and father. Provider and friend. I showed up for every school event. Every soccer game. Every parent-teacher conference. I worked overtime to pay for Adrian's college. I was there for every milestone. Every heartbreak. Somewhere along the way, I stopped being a person to them. I became a function. The one who gives. Who supports. Who shows up. They took that for granted. Now that Claudia has given them permission to see me as less than. They're relieved. Because they don't have to pretend anymore. I was never valued as a person. Just as what I provided. I decide in that moment not to explain myself to anyone. I won't call Patricia to process what happened. I won't text Adrian defending my worth. I won't message Claudia explaining why her words hurt. Explaining requires them to care. They don't. Their lack of care is the whole problem. Defending myself means accepting that my worth is up for debate. It's not. I don't owe anyone justification for existing in a body they find inconvenient. I'm done performing gratitude for scraps of basic respect. I'm done making myself smaller, physically or emotionally, to fit into spaces that should welcome me automatically. I cancel everything. I was supposed to host Sunday dinner next week, I cancel it. I was planning to help Adrian's aunt move, I cancel that too. I delete the family group chat from my phone. I stop responding to messages asking what's wrong. I decline invitations I would have attended out of obligation. I remove myself completely from the rotation of family life. Nobody notices at first. They're busy with wedding preparations. But slowly, they realize I'm not showing up. Not responding. Actually gone. Some reach out with casual questions about my silence. I don't answer those either. I disappear completely. No warning, no explanation. I stop posting on social media. Stop attending family gatherings. Stop being available for endless small requests. They probably think I'm sulking. Or being dramatic. Let them think that. The truth is more complicated. I'm not hiding to punish them. I'm withdrawing to protect myself. To figure out who I am when I'm not performing the role of eternally available mother, aunt, cousin. For the first time in years, I have space to think clearly. Without managing everyone else's emotions. Without cushioning their comfort. And in that quiet space, I make a decision that will change everything. They think I'm licking my wounds. I'm not. I'm planning something they'll never see coming.